Any news from Jack? There's a statewide APB out on it.
Jack's okay. He has something up his sleeve. He's not worried about being caught.
How do we help?
We go after the other side of the equation. Jack has a legion and its cronies running scared. We go after the doctor and some of the other guys.
But the whole department breathing down our necks.
It's time for action, Herschel. It's time for change. Jack's crossed the Rubicon, and we have to be on the other side ready to help.
Christ, what was that?
Explosion. Something big.
You think it's the Reds? You think those Rusky sons of bitches that dropped the H-bomb on us?
Calm down, Herschel. We need to be ready for the call.
I'm not waiting for an invitation. Get in the car and head for the cloud. KGPL can give us the details on the way. Commander will want us at the scene. Let's go. Jesus. I'd never seen nothing like this.
I wish I could say the same. It's like a bomb's gone off. Jesus Christ. Poor people.
We gotta find out what went down.
Delayed somewhere?
What in God's name happened here?
Wasn't nuclear. If it was, we'd all be dead from the radiation.
That's reassuring. What's radiation?
Everyone inside the factory was vaporized. Look at the size of that crater.
What's going on over there?
The mayor's going on television, appealing for calm.
Television? Who can afford one of those things?
Anything to go on?
Looking at the remains of Nicholson electroplating. An idea of what might have caused the explosion, but I'm only guessing. Have a look around the rubble, see if you come up with anything.
Blew the locker open, but shielded the contents. Let's see what we got in here.
What is it?
A substitution cipher. The Germans used them in the war. These are cipher rings.
You know what to do with them?
Maybe. They used them in OCS. Yes. 133 North Vermont Avenue. Tomoko Akamoto. Japanese name. Any ideas, Herschel?
None that I care to utter for public consumption.
Only OSS agents use these things. We'll need to get the film developed to see if there's an espionage angle. Any idea what this is?
Very large egg cup, Viking helmet. How would I know? Helps.
Looks to me like some kind of machine component. An airplane part, maybe.
I'm Fred Nicholson.
This is your place?
What's left of it? 32 years of work up in smoke.
Can you tell us what happened here?
Our chief chemist, Harold McClellan, was using this area to test the new process.
What exactly is this new process?
That's classified information, son.
You struck the sparks. You fired.
Tell us the truth, Mr. Nicholson. You're making bombs for the military, and this was some kind of an accident.
Your pitch is high and wide, kid. Look, we do plenty of work for the military and for aircraft manufacturers, but it's all polishing and plating.
A blazing ruin. You say that
A lot of people died here, Mr. Nicholson. I'm prepared to go to the press and tell them it was your fault. What is the new process?
A way to chemically polish aluminum. It's traditionally done by hand. It's extremely labor intensive. The process could be worth millions.
Who is Tomoko Akamoto?
Dr. McClellan's personal assistant. She came highly recommended.
Akamoto was involved in industrial espionage. Was she working for you or for a foreign government?
That's a ridiculous assertion. How can you possibly say she was a spy?
How many of your other employees carry spy cameras in their handbags?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph, she was selling me out.
If she wasn't a foreign spy, who could she have been working for?
There could be other plating companies, but the big customers for the process are the aircraft manufacturers. Lockheed, Boeing, Hughes, North American.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Nicholson. Can you send us Dr. McClellan and Miss Akamoto's personnel files?
I will if I can find them.
By the way, we also found the collar of a shirt. It has a laundry tag.
They're likely to be Dr. McClellan. And the majority of people who worked here don't use a laundry service.
You think McClellan went up in smoke? Or is he still alive?
You could ask the same question about Tomoko Akamoto.
I guess you could. You got an answer?
Not yet. But I'm working on it.
What do you need?
Phelps and Biggs, LAPD. We have one of your laundry tags. Can you tell us who it might belong to?
Are you kidding? I got work to do, Mac. Here's the customer book. Knock yourself out.
Number was J2620 code.
Who is Hangstrom?
Could be someone else from the factory. Does he have an address?
No. Dead end.
Somebody turned the place over. You think I could fit in there? I couldn't fit in there.
I'd like to think you would have had something more to say about getting shoved in a fridge, or... Very expensive watch, favored by flyboys. I always wanted one as a kid.
That's funny. As a kid, all I wanted was some food on the table.
Could be a class ring. Looks like we have a match.
Interesting dame, this Akamoto. What is it exactly?
Microfilm. A document shrunk to the size of your thumbnail.
Broad must have amazing eyesight. Biggs, Edge 525. I'll need a couple of black and whites at 133 North Vermont Avenue, Wilshire. We'll need an ambulance.
This is a military project, gentlemen. Can you state your business?
Detectives, Phelps and Biggs, LAPD. We're investigating the explosion. We have reason to believe there may be a link to Hughes' aircraft.
I'm sorry, I can't help you there, Detective. Without authorization from military HQ, you won't be allowed onto this facility.
What seems to be the problem, gentlemen? Hey, Biggs, you're not still with the LAPD.
Afraid so, mates. Can you help us out here?
Sure. What seems to be the problem?
We're working the big explosion at the electroplating plant. I found a part there that belongs to one of your planes.
I work head of security for Mr. Hughes now. I'll take full responsibility. I'm sure we can clear this up. Follow me. It's the big hangar. You can't miss it.
Who is Mapes, and what's his connection to Howard Hughes?
Vernon Mapes used to work Advice. Word is he runs fuck pads for Hughes' starlets.
A pimp. Earl and Mapes would seem.
Mapes was the role model for creeps like Earl.
Can that thing really fly?
Mr. Hughes believes so. Amazing, isn't she?
So, this is the spruce scoop.
Jesus Christ, Biggs, you want to get me fired? Mr. Hughes hates that fucking name. It's the H-4 Hercules to you.
Do you mind answering a few questions, Mr. Mapes?
Call me Vernon, kid. Fire away.
Do you know anything about the explosion that happened at Nicholson Electroplating this morning?
No more than anyone else. Heard the boom while I was shaving. Almost shit my pants. Thought it was Pearl all over again.
Nicholson Electroplating was working on a miracle process to polish aluminum, a process that was very advantageous to airplane manufacturers. You're denying that you knew about it.
It doesn't matter what I deny, kid. It matters what you can prove. You have some evidence that links me personally with Nicholson?
If you don't ask, you never find out. But you had no personal contact with any of the employees, and you have no idea what caused the explosion.
I'm in security. I handle Mr. Hughes' personal interests, if you get my meaning. I'm not directly involved in manufacturing.
Do you know Tomoko Akamoto?
Never heard of the broad. Why?
Akamoto is an industrial spy. She's on your payroll.
A spy, you say? That's very interesting. You have some way of proving she was working for me or Hughes?
Looks like I was mistaken. You don't happen to wear an LAPD tie pin, do you, Mapes?
Sometimes. I have a couple of them from my days on the force.
Do you know the chief chemist at Nicholson Electroplating, a Harold McClellan?
I've heard of the guy. He was pitching some fancy process to the company.
We know that you were sending parts to Nicholson for testing. Question is whether you were going through Nicholson or cutting your own deal with McClellan.
Interesting theory, kid. How you gonna prove any of that?
We found a prop spinner in the wreckage. We believe it belongs to this aircraft.
We sent them some aluminum parts to test. Howard and the Boffins were interested in this guy McClellan's theories. McClellan was cutting out Nicholson. That's not our problem.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Mapes. Do you mind if we have a look around while we're here?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
You want to take a look inside her? Can't hurt.
Is that a Pratt & Whitney 4360?
Sure is. You know your motors.
Do you mind if I take a look at the prop spinner?
We're getting her ready for sea trials, so be quick about it.
What is the oily covering on the metal?
We coat the aluminum parts in linseed oil to preserve it from oxidization.
Looks like Mapes' office is in the far corner. Let's go see what he's hiding.
Probably nothing.
That is Marie the Body McDonald.
Does Hughes have her on contract to RKO?
Yeah, I bet he does.
Thanks for the tour, Mapes.
Always happy to help the department. Hey, Don't I know your face from the papers? You're the cop that's stripping that German broad.
Nah, I think you got the wrong guy, Vernon. How are we gonna look getting around in this thing, Cole?
So McClellan was selling his new process to Hughes and cutting on Nicholson.
Looks that way. But this would never go all the way up to Hughes. He would have middlemen dealing with stuff like this.
Someone like Mapes?
The word middleman was invented for guys like Mapes. At least we'll know where we've been if we try to retrace our steps. Must be a tough break being separated from your kids, Phelps.
They're fine. They've got their mother and they've got each other.
What about you?
What about me?
What have you got?
A friend of mine is helping me through it.
Now that I got you, I may as well ask you.
Ask me what?
The Black Dahlia. Who was it that killed that poor girl?
No official charges have been pressed in the case.
I know that. I'm not looking for the official version.
I made a promise to the department.
These are the guys who sold you down the river. They can make a claim to the department.
Hey, Cole. You're not winning any popularity contests upstairs, you know.
Where do you stand?
I think you're a good cop, but I try and stay out of politics.
Everybody tries to stay out of politics, Ray.
Well, don't quote me on it, but I'm hoping that Parker will get the job and clean this place up. I have your photographs. You can use the magnifier. There's quite a lot of detail.
Very funny.
I think you're right, Ray. We have our man. You take a nice photo, Phelps.
Bringing the watch are a match for our John Doe. He's obviously the competitive bid. Can you get this over to Lockheed so we can get a name for this guy?
It's already on its way.
Howard Hughes, millionaire, industrialist, aviator, and playboy, and Vernon Mapes, ex-dirty cop and business fixer. I found a similar tie pin along with a dead guy in a fridge.
Hey, I gave his wife a tap. He said all's fair in love and war.
Excellent photography, Tomoko. So Tomoko had the goods on McClellan. Too bad they blew the place to hell. this McClellan? Can anyone make out the street number behind him?
Are you kidding? With my eyesight?
I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to stop him.
Cole, can you help me with a little experiment? Use the eyedropper in front of you. One drop from each of the bottles on the desk. Place the drops in the Petri dish. It's okay, guys. Just a little experiment.
Can you guys knock it off? Everyone's still jumping from that bang this morning.
Very funny, Ray. You just took a couple years off my life expectancy.
Did the same trick to me about an hour ago.
So that was the stuff that caused the explosion.
I think so. Acetic anhydride is almost as explosive as nitro, and when mixed with perchloric acid, it's very unstable. It needs to be cooled constantly. We used linseed oil. You could add any organic compound to trigger an explosion.
3 little drops.
Yeah, and they were using a 100-gallon vat.
Hangstrom is flying today on TWA.
Hangstrom is dead, Cole. Why leave your ticket behind?
Nips is cleaning up. Hangstrom and McClellan are the same man.
The gas, Cole, the gas! We gotta get out of here right now! Look, by the stove! Shoot the gas line, Cole, we're out of here! There you are, shitheel. Come on, he's not getting away from us. Lay into his wheel well, come on! Phelps, you gotta get me closer! Get in close and steer him off the top. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheels. Shit. You security men, Cole. Stay on mates. Knock them off the road if you have to, but stay on that fucker. Enough games, fellas. Take this guy out. It's no good. We need to get closer.
Throw out the guns. That's just what I need. Now I'm in trouble. Stay in cover! Stay down. Get in cover!
I got it.
You're gonna have to explain this to me again. So the guy at the chemical plant, he's planning on selling his magic formula to another company and skipping town with his assistant, but he blows himself up before he can manage it. So why the dead body in the refrigerator?
Mapes, Captain. He was eliminating all competitors for the process. When it went bang, he burnt down the apartment to remove all connection between Hughes and the plant.
Mapes, right. I remember Vernon Mapes. The guy had good, honest cops hanging their heads in shame. Glad he's finally out of commission. I don't know if it'll do you any good, Phelps, but between the spruce goose and half the city exploding, you might just have made the case of the decade.